the passive-aggressive communicator. This roommate never says what they mean, but they leave notes, lots of notes, sticky ones on the fridge, on your mirror, on the microwave you just wiped down. At first, the note says, "Please take out the trash." Then it says, "Trash doesn't walk itself." Some people need to stop pretending it does. Their handwriting stays neat. The emojis start looking angry. They never mention the issue out loud. They just sigh. A lot. They move things too. The empty toilet roll you forgot, now it's sitting on your pillow. The dish you left, moved 2 inches closer to your door. You ask what's wrong. They say, "I'm fine." They're not fine. You know they're not fine. But somehow, it's now your fault. Over time, the apartment fills with paper messages. Each one says, "I don't want to talk about it, but I do want you to suffer." The borrower. The borrower is a roommate who treats shared space as shared property, including items that clearly aren't theirs. They rarely ask permission. Instead, they borrow whatever they need, assuming you won't notice. At first, it's a charger, a spoon, a few snacks. Over time, clothing disappears. Toiletries run out. Leftovers vanish from the fridge. When asked, they usually say, "I thought you wouldn't mind." They promise to replace what they take, but they don't. This behavior causes confusion and frustration. You may begin to label your items or hide them in your room. It's common to lock doors or create strict boundaries to protect your belongings. Living with a borrower often feels like your possessions exist in 2 places at once, yours and theirs. The ghost. The ghost is a roommate who lives in the apartment but is rarely seen. They pay rent. Their name is on the lease, but their physical presence is almost non-existent. Their door stays closed. They avoid shared spaces. You notice small signs: food disappearing, lights turned off, objects slightly moved. Ghosts keep a different schedule from everyone else. They cook at night, walk quietly, and enter rooms without a sound. You may hear them open the fridge at 3 a.m. They use the bathroom when no one else is awake. Most communication happens by text, even if they're just a few feet away. You share utilities, but not conversations. You rarely speak. You rarely see them. After a while, you begin to question if they're even real. Their room becomes a sealed mystery. Unlike the borrower, who touches everything, the ghost touches nothing. The party animal. The party animal treats your apartment like a full-time nightclub. They don't believe in quiet hours, guest limits, or privacy. It usually starts with just a few people. Soon, strangers are dancing on the rug where your coffee table used to be. The kitchen turns into a bar. The bathroom becomes a line. Your room becomes part of the venue. They host these events on weekday nights, often before your early meetings. They say it'll end soon. It doesn't. They order food, play loud music, and let guests bring more guests. In the morning, you find sticky floors, empty cups, and mystery leftovers. Sometimes someone you don't know is asleep in your tub. Your fridge holds drinks and sauces nobody remembers bringing. You stop relaxing. You start cleaning. You become security, bartender, and damage control without ever joining the party. The neat freak. The neat freak treats cleaning like a full-time job. They don't tolerate mess. They plan their day around wiping surfaces. To them, dust is an enemy. Dishes left for 10 minutes feel like a personal insult. They clean quickly, often, and without warning. Shoes near the door, repositioned. Cups on the table, removed and disinfected. They organize everything. Spices, shelves, even your stuff. They say it's helpful. But now you can't find your keys. Their systems are intense. Containers are labeled. Towels are folded with precision. A cleaning schedule is posted on the fridge like a work calendar. At first, it's annoying. Then it starts to change you. You wipe the sink. You fold blankets. You feel guilty for existing near dust. Over time, you adapt. You also wonder if you're okay. No one should feel this nervous around a water glass. But where there's control, chaos follows. The messy roommate. The messy roommate treats the floor like a closet and cleaning as a distant concept. Their belongings cover every surface. Some intentionally, some by accident. Clothing piles up in layers, forming a visible history of past seasons. Old dishes gather on desks and counters after simple meals. A sandwich may use 1 plate, but 5 will end up dirty. The fridge becomes a museum of expired food. with containers hosting their own ecosystems. Items vanish into the mess. Remote controls, phone chargers, mail, socks. They reappear months later, usually with stains. The problem spreads. Backpacks on chairs, shoes in doorways, keys in the fruit bowl. Shared spaces become obstacle courses. You try to stay calm. You start cleaning around the mess. Eventually, you label your own items just to protect them. Living with a messy roommate requires patience, strong boundaries, and sometimes a tetanus shot. The best friend, roommate. The best friend roommate doesn't just live with you. They want to experience your entire life together. They prefer joint decisions, shared meals, and group conversations. Even if only one of you's talking, they appear uninvited but enthusiastic, often asking, "What are we doing?" while sitting on your bed. Private phone calls become shared commentary. Closed doors don't work. Headphones don't help. They stay up late to ask about your day, especially your dates. They offer snacks, comfort, and questions you didn't know you needed to answer. Sometimes they build conversation zones out of couch pillows. They notice your moods before you do and treat your sadness like a group project. You might crave space, but when you really need someone, they're already there, holding popcorn and picking the movie. This roommate brings constant company, unsolicited advice, and emotional backup, whether you want it or not. Most roommates aren't just one type. People change over time. A neat freak might steal your charger. A party animal might disappear for days. The goal isn't to find a perfect roommate. That person doesn't exist. The goal is learning how to live with someone different from you. Good roommates talk things out. Great ones learn to set boundaries. Which roommate do you live with? Tell us in the comments. We'll pretend not to judge you.